All right, we are now recording.
All right, thank you, Andrina. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Mayor Manager meeting for Wednesday, March 4th. Online with me, wasn't ready, but we have Deputy City Clerk Andrina Prado, Executive Assistant Krista Gravy, City Manager Shawn Lewis, City Clerk Stephanie Carlisle, City Attorney Tamara Niles, and Deputy City Manager Tim Dodd. Shawn, do you want to kick us off?
All right, thanks, Mayor. March 9th, we have study sessions, first starting with the Belm presentation from our delegates from Belm. Study session to receive final feedback and suggestions for modifications from council on the city's proposed strategic plan. Study session to discuss removing the ability to or updating the criteria for requesting a waiver to be the primary residency requirement for short-term rentals. Conservation overlay, Title 16 amendments, and discussion of police use of cameras for law enforcement.
Okay. So, Shawn, this is the evening that I believe may go long just because of that last item. Police use of cameras. I'm not sure how long that's going to go. I just have a concern that this may stretch into the night. So I was wondering if it was possible to push off the conversation of the strategic plan to the 23rd. Is it time sensitive that we need to do that, or do we have time to kind of finalize it later on in the month? That's one item. The other one that I would think about pushing off um, would be the conservation overlay districts. It looks like that's an hour that we're setting aside for that. Are they
Right.
time, are they time sensitive or?
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, if I could just jump in on that, Mayor. Not necessarily, but we had really hoped to have it done by the end of the first quarter so that we could start reporting on it for the second quarter. So the way the cadence is right now is the study session on the 9th, and then we were going to bring it back to you the next week on the 16th for approval. So we certainly could move that if you'd like to, but that was kind of the cadence we were following.
Yeah. I think there's because I are there much changes from what about the conservation overlay? Let's talk about that one since I haven't gotten is that one time sensitive?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's time sensitive. We've got, some a neighborhood that is, interested in seeing that forth, but I'm sure we can let them know that's being pushed off a bit.
Yeah, I think we definitely pushed that one off. I already looked at the agenda for the 23rd. The 23rd is kind of looking uh, kind of big. In terms of the strategic plan, Tim, how much time do you think you'll need? It looks like 15-minute presentation. What do you think the discussion time would be on that one?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. We just have a few set questions from the last meeting to ask council. So I don't anticipate it would go too long. It's really just the final questions are, if you want to break out sustainability, the change in the term performance metrics, and a few questions on goals. But given that it's the third time you've seen it, I don't anticipate it being an incredibly long discussion.
Right. Okay. Well, let's do this. Can we have that as the last agenda item of the evening on the 9th? Let's push the conservation overlay amendments to the 23rd. And Shawn, if I spoke to you about this one, the short-term rental regulations, that is no longer allowing a waiver for primary resident requirements, correct? Currently, we have that.
Correct.
This is, I don't see that much pushback from council on that. That's just my thoughts on it. Seems to have worked out pretty well the way that we kind of have it. So let's keep that on the agenda. Let's have the strategic plan as the last item of the evening. And if we do go along with the item of the cameras and data that we push off, we'll make a decision that night that we push off the strategic plan. Does that sound like a plan?
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
All right, cool. All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right, moving on to the next meeting, which is March the 16th. We have a couple of study sessions. First, review of City Council Policy Manual, potential updates for council discussion. Council consideration of approval by motion of the city's strategic plan. Little Dry Creek Plaza construction design contract. And we had a question about consent on that one, Mayor. Do you want to do that next week?
I would say yes on that one.
Okay. Next, we have award of Old Hamden Utilities Improvements Project Phase 2 construction contract. It's a continuation of that project. Thoughts on?
I would say, well, actually, Shawn, so utilities, so this has nothing to do with the storm drainage then. So that it's pulling from different fund for that one, correct?
Actually, I think this may be related to
Be related. So if
stormwater.
that's the case, let's not put it on consent just because it's been a hot topic.
Okay. MOU between the Inglewood Downtown Development Authority and the city for construction of Little Dark Creek Plaza.
See yes to that.
2026 DOLA Housing Planning Grant. This is just application to apply.
If it's just the application, I would say yes. I could see it getting pulled, but I would say yes.
Okay. Ordinance amending municipal code regarding cities petitioning processes.
An ordinance amending municipal code regarding city petitioning process. Oh, so we just talked about that the other night. I would say no. I think we didn't have full council consent on that one after that evening. So I would say no.
Okay. IGA with Mile High Flood District, and that is, I believe, part of the funding.
Say yes.
First reading to adopt the 2024 International Building and Fire Codes.
Say yes, I could see it getting pulled, but I know our hands are tied with Denver Fire on that for the most part.
CB19 Massage Business Licensing Requirement Ordinance.
Say no to that one just because I need to see more on that.
Okay. That one I think is required by state law now for
That
cities.
okay.
Yes, I was going to confirm it's state law requires a background check for massage businesses, but not for licensed massage therapists. They're exempted. So it's to bring us in compliance with that state law requirement.
All right. So let's put it on
Okay.
consent, but I could see it getting pulled.
Okay. And then proposed municipal code amendment to provide, just uniform hearings code.
We covered this the other evening as well. Do we have full consent on that one? I would say no. No to that one on consent.
Okay. CB24 data sharing agreement between CBI and EPD for the Colorado Crime Information Center and the National Crime Information Center. CB15 amendment to Valley Sanitation District Connector Agreement and termination of Sheridan Sanitation District Number 1 Connector Agreement. CB20 amend Inglewood Municipal Code to reflect transfer of stormwater functions. CB18 ordinance authorizing administrative fine for violations of business license. CB23 amending traffic code regarding vehicle registration and cell phone usage. CB25 it's extension of IGA for voter service polling center and ballot drop box use. And then looks
All right. Do you mind going back up, Shawn? Where is the CB18? Where's CB18 on that one? There we go. Perfect. You got it there. That's the one that was unanimous, but Rita wanted to keep it off consent. Perfect.
Okay.
You guys are ahead of it. Cool. Thank you.
And then the last one on this item was just the open space grant for Bellevue Park.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna do a couple more.
Yeah, let's run through the 23rd and then we'll stop there.
Okay. 2027 budget presentation with City Council, preliminary revenue and expenditure, 3-year forecast, Board and Commission member appointment recognition, flock safety MOU with the Denver Police Department, and those were all for April 6th. Any questions there?
No, but I'm looking at the 23rd. So this is where we would push the conversation on the overlay. So I'm looking at the time. It looks like how long of a time do you long range affordable housing plan? How much discussion are you expecting on that, Tim?
Probably, I'd say maybe 20 minutes.
the first time we're bringing it forward to you to get your input on the draft structure, but I don't think it'll
Okay.
take too long.
Okay, so yeah, if that's the case, if we're probably going to go an hour and a half on that, then that would make sense for the rest, adding the overlay on that night. All right, perfect. Do you mind scrolling back up to the 9th, Andrina? So we'll set aside about an hour and a half for that item on the affordable housing plan total. And also, I'm thinking maybe because we don't have times on the police use camera, can we say that we're going to have 70 minutes discussion on that? All right, I think that should be it. Short-term rentals, I'm thinking 20-minute discussion on that, about 30 minutes total. All right, I think we're good. Andrina, you're on mute if you were speaking. So, Shawn, I think we had 8 council requests that evening.
Yeah, Tim, I think you sent that one, took that one down and sent it to Krista. Do you remember the topic on that?
I'll have to double check. I don't have it in front of me. It was related to the it was right of first refusal, I believe, the one that Councilmember Pring asked.
There was a second one that came from Joe and Rita added to it. It had to do, don't have my notes in front of me, but it came from regarding public comment. Trying to think.
Oh,
Had to do with
it was the animal control.
Oh, the animal control. Yes. There we go.
Yeah, the incident with the dogs in the car. That's right. Thank you.
Correct. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have my notes for that item. All right. Appreciate it. I don't have anything else. Shawn, anything from you?
Nope, I think that's it.
Anything else from you, Tamara, or staff?
I don't have anything.
all good on our end.
All right, cool. All right, with that, everyone, just make sure Joe hasn't made it. No, he has not. All right, cool. With that, everyone, that concludes today's mayor manager meeting. Everyone have a great day. Thanks so much,
You
everyone.
too. Bye-bye.
All right,
You too,
bye-bye.
thank you.